A gluttonous girl picked up a duck by the riverside. She hadn't eaten meat for days. Without hesitation, she began plucking its feathers, ready for a feast. Just then, two hunters appeared. They seemed to be searching for their prey, but instead ran into the girl's elder sister, who had just stepped out to fetch water. The hunters were instantly captivated by her beauty. Little did they expect that in the middle of this lake lived two sisters, as beautiful as fairies. It turned out that Anna and Tawa had lived on this boat with their grandfather since childhood. Other than him, they had almost no contact with men. Lonely and longing for company, the elder sister Anna tightly held the hunter's hand and passionately invited the handsome man to stay the night. Jack, however, was frightened by her boldness and didn't know what to do, so Anna set her sights on the other hunter. Luckily, Tom liked this kind of straightforward woman, and he quickly pulled out a pair of fishnet stockings from his pocket as a gift. Bored, Jack wandered onto the boat and stumbled upon Tawa, who had just finished plucking the duck. Her eyes lit up at the sight of a man, and she eagerly grabbed Jack's hand and pressed it against herself. Just when Jack thought he was about to get lucky, an accident happened. The girl's grandfather had already seized Tom by the collar and shouted, "You dare bully my granddaughter? Tired of living, are you?" Poor Tom was utterly wronged, but thankfully Anna stepped in to explain. Grandpa immediately realized something was off. It looked like he could no longer keep his precious granddaughters to himself. Just then, Tawa found another duck. This one struck by an arrow, but before she could celebrate, a group of natives came charging toward them. Grandpa quickly fired back, and the muscular Tom leapt in to fight with his fists, amusing Tawa to no end. Jack wasn't idle either. He tied several rifles together and fired at once, forcing the attackers to roll on the ground. After a fierce battle, they finally drove the enemies away. Their bravery won them the hearts of the sisters. Later, Anna and Tawa caught a few big fish, planning a feast to reward the hunters. Originally, Grandpa wanted to drive the men away, but after witnessing their strength, he decided to keep them around as free bodyguards. What he didn't expect was that the two brothers had fallen for his granddaughters. They poured drink after drink until the old man was drunk out of his mind, then snuck Anna onto the deck under the cover of night to whisper sweet words. Tom naively thought he'd struck gold, never realizing Grandpa was only pretending to be drunk, secretly squinting his eyes to watch. In fact, the family had long been harassed by the natives. Grandpa planned to keep the hunters as live-in sons-in-law, but being a son-in-law was no easy task. The men were often woken in the middle of the night to fight off raids. Jack, however, was too kind-hearted to kill, and over time he befriended the natives instead. The sisters saw everything clearly through their telescope. Their hearts ached, for their parents had been killed by the natives, and they had always regarded them as sworn enemies. Jack argued that not all natives were bad, and that making peace was better than endless bloodshed. Under his persuasion, the sisters reluctantly agreed to put aside their hatred, and for the first time befriended the tribe. When Tawa saw natives' hands covered in blood, her heart ached for him. Though such wounds were common for the natives, kind Tawa couldn't bear to see more bloodshed. She resolved to bring the Bible and enlighten them. On her way into the mountains, exhaustion overtook her, and she fell asleep. When she awoke, a bear cub was beside her, yet its mother was surprisingly gentle and did not attack. She pressed on deeper into the forest in search of the tribe, when suddenly a dark figure leapt out. It was a native girl. Worried that her tribe might harm Tawa, she urged her to go home, but Tawa was determined. Left with no choice, the native girl taught her a few words of their language, something that might save her life in an emergency. But unexpectedly, a native warrior had been eavesdropping. He accused the girl of being a traitor, and mercilessly drove both her and the young native man out of the tribe. With no place to go, the two outcasts had no choice but to seek shelter with Tawa's family.